Today's video, I'm going to explain my entire system of fast keto and how you can do the exact same thing to lose 60 pounds in 6 months. Stay tuned. Hi, this is Kevin from Gubbafitness. If you like the content of the videos I'm posting, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, because there's plenty more to come. So first things first, before you start any diet or exercise program, please consult your doctor. Get a professional advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy who did a lot of research, did a lot of trial and error, and mostly tried it on my body. And a lot of people have asked me what I've been doing, so here it is. This is my plan that I've been doing, and designed for me, but I think a lot of people can manipulate this and have great success just like I did. So the system that I kind of put together is fast keto. It's pretty much fasting, intermittent fasting with keto, some keto rules in it. Pretty much intermittent fasting, and every now and then I did a 1 meal a day in there as well during the week. And that's all intermittent fasting. It's just designed to reduce calories. Second thing was ketogenic diet. What I did was I took the low carb. That was just to keep my glucose blood sugar down. So low carb, kind of keto. Something different that I did when I did a lot of keto before is I kept my fat low. Only because I wanted to use fat on my body and not the fat that I was giving it. And portion control. Before on keto, I'm on keto, I can eat whatever I want. Give me a family pack of chicken. And I would, and yeah, you lost weight at the beginning, but over time it would go away because now you're eating 10,000 calories of chicken or any kind of meal, but it's carb free. So that's a big thing that I did, was portion control. And then with the portion control came calorie deficit. I made sure that I had a good starting point and kept those calories and didn't go over those amounts. I weighed my food and I kept careful track of everything I ate or drank in an app, and then was able to say, okay, I'm at say 1,500 calories, stop for the day. And then worked in 10,000 steps, very important, and that gave me a buffer, so if I didn't calculate my food right, those 10,000 steps allowed me to create a buffer, so I was always in a calorie deficit. Let's talk about the fasting window, okay? Intermittent fasting is a window. Usually there's 16-8 is what a lot of people like. That's one I chose, and it worked out well for me because I worked during the day. And but basically what it is after 8 p.m. at night, I don't eat any calories or consume calories. And then I go all the way till noon. So while I'm sleeping, I'm fasting. And that's why a lot of people like that. It's a lot easier to do that during the night. So from 8 to noon is a fasting window. From noon to 8, it gives me an 8-hour window to consume the calories that I need for the day. Now, not everybody can use that window, but that's key for you when you create your system, is what works best for you. Are you a morning eater? If so, adjust your windows. Just as long as you find an 8-hour window straight that you can consume, and 16 hours straight where you can fast, whatever works for you, that's probably going to be the best that you choose. And it's going to take a little trial and error, but it's well worth it when you get there. During your fasting window, if you're hungry or whatever, you drink coffee, black tea. You shouldn't have any creamer, you shouldn't have any sugar, no flavoring, no carbs or anything like that. Just 0-calorie drinks, and pretty much chew gum. Chew gum was a big winner for me. Spearmint 5 gum was great. Every time I get hungry, I'd pop one of those in. And then I recommend one time a day. I usually get Propel electrolytes, and I mix that with a 16 ounce of water, and I drink that one a day. When I drink two a day or 3 a day, if you start drinking on a regular basis, the salt makes you gain weight, and it's a little bloaty feeling. It's uncomfortable. Okay, let's talk about the eating window. You're going to focus on protein. First thing you're going to think about is protein. You want at least an 8 or 10 ounce piece of protein. Yes, you're going to have to measure it out. And you serve that with a serving size of green vegetables or white vegetables. None of that colored vegetables. That'll help keep your carbs down. Now, you want to get your desired weight in protein. So if you want to be 130, try to get 130 grams of protein. That's why it's important to focus on protein, because that's more important. And then if you can get at least 100 grams of protein, that's good too. So anywhere between 100 as a minimum and whatever your desired weight is of protein, because it can be hard to consume 200 grams of protein. Let's see. I mean, again, if you focus on 8 to 10 ounces of protein and a serving size of vegetable, you're going to be around 400 to 500 calories. Okay, so I recommend for women, to make it easy so you're not counting a lot of calories, you have that meal twice a day. And for men, I want to say you want to have that at least 3 times a day. That'll get you up around 1,500 calories. Okay, so if you focus on your protein, the carbs and fat will kind of come in check on their own. I did an average over time, and when I did that, and I counted my calories, and I was always stopping around 1,500 calories a day, and my carbs and fat remained low because all I was having was protein and vegetables. So they were both around 50 grams a day of fat and carbs, so that worked in my favor. Okay, so you want to space these meals. I know you have an 8-hour window, but you want to do that in 2 meals. Usually in the beginning, at noon, you have that protein and that vegetables. And then if you're towards the end, if you know, probably 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, you have the other one. That's going to give a spacing in between your meals to allow the glucose stores to come down. If you're a man and you're trying to get 3 meals, you're going to have to space that out directly in the middle, so it's evenly spaced between meals. And that'll allow you to get that 3rd meal in. So if you look at the calories, you know, large men like myself, you know, I'm 5'10", 206 today, and I try to get 1,500 calories in. My wife is a little petite thing, and she tries to get 1,000 calories. So the best thing to do is try to find where you need to be. You know, start taking, you know, start with 1,500 for men, and women start with 1,000. And what you can do is reduce, you know, if you're not seeing the scale move in a week, reduce it by 200 calories each day, and then wait for a week and see if it actually starts moving the scale. If it doesn't, try reducing another 200 until it starts to move. And that's how you're going to be able to adjust it. It's not a race, you know, take a week, you know, with that calorie count, and then go to the next week and see if it's not moving, make the adjustment. Don't try to do it all at once. It's not worth it. And another thing that I recommend is go back and watch my 3rd video on the supplements to take. That's going to help you, you know, taking the apple cider vinegar, the B1, the CLA, and the cinnamon. That's all going to help you. And watch the video for the timing, and that's going to be key. And find ways to reduce fat. I mean, all you're going to be eating is an 8 to 10 ounce piece of protein, but a lot of recipes and a lot of preparation involves butter or oils or fancy, like, you know, sauces that have milk and heavy cream. So try to eliminate that, find alternatives to that, and that's going to keep your fat low, and that'll be key as far as keeping that fat below 50 grams a day. Okay, so now that you get the intermittent fasting and you're doing that, and you get the 16-8 going, you got the fasting cycle going, you think you know where you're at calories, you got the food going. Now, to take it up a notch, what I do is I do 1 meal a day. So I still do 16-8 fasting every day, but I also come back with 3 days a week where I do 1 meal a day. And all that is I don't eat at noon. I go from supper all the way to supper. I have 1 meal. And what that 1 meal does, it's still the 8 to 10 ounce piece of protein and the serving of vegetables, but now I just cut my calories in half. If you're having 2 meals, now you're only having 1. So that's going to reduce your calories. And then the next day, I eat the full cycle of, you know, 2 meals, 3 meals a day starting at noon. So 3 days a week I recommend throwing in, on an advanced level, 1 meal a day, and that's going to help speed up the process a little bit more as far as weight loss. Okay, so let's talk about some tips while you're fasting and doing this system here. Is hunger. Hunger is a sensation that's going to come over you. You're going to have it. Your stomach's going to growl. But I've noticed it happens, and I kind of smile because I know it's working. Now my body is yelling at me, trying to tell me to eat more because it needs more, because I'm creating it a situation where it needs to draw from my body. So it's a good thing when you have hunger. Learn to like it for, as a sign of success, but also it doesn't last. Keep your mind occupied, find something to do, go for a walk, get your steps in. That hunger sensation will go away. It's only temporary. Another key thing is proper portion sizes. There was a time when I was intermittent fasting, I was doing everything right, but I was still using the old keto mindset where I could eat as much as I want as long as it wasn't carbs. As soon as I found out that I was overeating, calorie counting, and finding out what that proper portion size was, and I started implementing those proper portion sizes with my meal, wasn't happy, but it didn't take long to adjust, and the scale started moving down. So proper portion size is definitely a key factor in this diet. So you want to start tracking numbers, okay? You want to start tracking these calories and get an app and be able to know how much you're eating per day and stop at 1,500, 1,000. And that's going to help you go forward to, I know you can stick to the 8 to 10 ounce piece of protein and the serving right now, but in the future when you need to fine tune your diet, you're going to need to know how to track these calories. And it's fairly simple, but get used to doing it now, and then when you start getting the scales not moving and you're getting frustrated, then you can look at exact numbers and then adjust, fine tune it by dropping 200 calories, or maybe you're eating too much fat. You can analyze those numbers and help you get to the next level. So start tracking it. It's not important now. Just stick with the 8 ounces of protein and a serving of vegetables twice a day and you'll be fine. But start teaching yourself how to track calories and use an app and get familiar with it right now. So another key thing that is going to help you in this whole process of losing weight is save yourself some time by preparing meals ahead of time. Get that 8 to 10 ounce piece of meat and a serving size of broccoli, put it in a Tupperware container and get a couple of them in there, and that's going to save you time when you don't want to cook and you would rather go out to eat. You can just get in the fridge and heat that up. This is Kevin from Gubbafitness. I hope you liked this video, and I hope I explained it well enough. If not, feel free to reach out and leave a comment. I'll try to answer any questions that I can. I want you to be successful. I've been pretty successful with this. It took me a long time to come up with this. It takes a little fine-tuning for you to adjust, but this should get you started and on the road to success. And I'm anxious to hear about any success that you have, and I hope you come back and watch my other videos coming up. I think you'll be happy with them. Kevin out.